900. Bid 900, now 9 and a quarter. 9 and a quarter, now 9 and a half. Now 975. Bid 975, 975. 975, now 1,000. Bid 1,000, 975, now 1,000, 1,050. $1,000 bid, now 1,050. Bid 1,050, 1,050, now 1,100. Bid 1,100, 1,100. $1,100, now 11 and a half. I'm at 11, now 11 and a half. Bid 11 and a half, 1,150, now 1,200. Bid 1,200, 1,200, now 12 and a half. Bid 12 and a half. Bid 1,250, now 13. I'm at 13, now 13 and a half, now 14. Bid 14, 13 and a half, now 14, now 14 and a half. I'm at 1,400, now 14 and a half. Bid 1,450, now 15. I need 15. 14 and a half, now 15, now 15 and a half. Bid 1,550. Sold $1,500. Sold $1,500. Lot number 112 is a 2006 Lexus ES. This one here, folks, is a 2006 Lexus ES. Here we go. I'm at 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, now 375. Bid 375, 375, now 400, now 4 and a quarter. 400 bid, now 4 and a quarter, now 4 and a half. I'm 4 and a half, 475, 500, now 5 and a quarter. Bid 5 and a quarter, 525, now 5 and a half. I'm 5 and a half, now 575, 575, now 600. Bid 600, now 6 and a quarter, now 6 and a half. I need 6 and a half. 6 and a quarter, now 6 and a half, now 675. Bid 675. Sold 6 and a half. Sold 6 and a half. Lot number 113 is your 2017 Lincoln MKX. Lot number 113 is your 2017 Lincoln MKX. 24 and a quarter, not 24.75. 24 and a quarter, not 24.75. Bid 24.75. Sold 24 and a quarter. Sold 24 and a quarter. Lot number 114 is going to be the 2015 Chrysler 200, folks. Lot number 114 is the 2015 Chrysler 200, folks. Here we go. I'm at 2 and a quarter, now 2 and a half. I'm 2 and a quarter, now 2 and a half. Bid 2 and a half, now 275. 2 and a half, now 275. Bid 275, 300, now 3 and a quarter. 3 in the bid, now 3 and a quarter. Bid 3 and a quarter, now 3 and a half. I'm 3 and a quarter, now 3 and a half. Bid 3 and a half, now 375. 3 and a half, now 375. Bid 375. Sold 3 and a half. Sold 3 and a half. Lot number 115 is going to be the 2021 Nissan Versa. This one here is the 2021 Nissan Versa. Here we go. I'm at 18 and a half, now 19. Bid 19, now 19 and a half. Bid 19 and a half. 1950, now 2000. Bid 2000, 19 and a half, now 2000, now 2050, now 21. 21 and a half. Bid 21 and a half, now 22. I need 22. 21 and a half, now 22. Those need 200, 2200, now 22 and a half. I'm 22 and a half, now 23, now 23 and a half, now 24. 24 and a half, now 25. Bid 25. 2500, now 25 and a half. I'm at 2500, now 25 and a half, now 26. Bid 2600, now 26 and a half. 2700, now 27 and a half. 27 and a half, now 28. Bid 28. 2800, now 28 and a half. I'm at 28 and a half, now 29. Bid 29. 2900. I'm 29 and a half. 29 and a half, now 3000, now 3050, now 31. I need 31, now 31 and a half. Bid 3150. 3150. Sold 3100. Sold 3100. Here we go. Next up is going to be your 2007 Kia Amante. Lot number 116. This is a 2007 Kia Amante, folks. Here we go. 600, now 6 and a quarter. 600 bid, now 6 and a quarter, now 6 and a half. I'm 6 and a half, now 675, now 700, now 7 and a quarter. I'm 7 and a quarter, 7 and a half, now 775, now 800. Bid 800, now 8 and a quarter, now 8 and a half. I'm 8 and a quarter, now 8 and a half. Bid 8 and a half, 850, 850, now 875. I'm 8 and a half, now 875. Bid 875, 875, 875. Sold 8 and a half, sold 8 and a half. Lot number 117 is going to be the 2004 Honda Accord. This one here, folks, is going to be your 2004 Honda Accord. Here we go. I'm at 375, now 400, now 4 and a quarter, now 4 and a quarter, now 4 and a half, now 475, 475, now 500, 5 and a quarter, now 5 and a half, 5 and a half, now 575, 575, now 600. Bid 600, now 6 and a quarter, I'm 6 and a quarter, now 6 and a half, now 675. Bid 675. Now 700. 700, now 7 and a quarter. 700 bid, now 7 and a quarter. 725, 725. Sold $700. Sold $700. Lot number 118 is going to be the 2010 Ford Fusion. Lot number 118 is going to be the 2010 Ford Fusion, folks. Here we go. 3 and a quarter, now 3 and a half. 3 and a half, now 375. Bid 375, 375, 375. Now 400. Bid 400, now 4 and a quarter. 400 bid, now 4 and a quarter. Bid 4 and a quarter, 425, now 4 and a half. I'm 4 and a quarter, now 4 and a half, now 475. Bid 475, 475. Sold 4 and a half. Sold 4 and a half. Lot number 119 is going to be the 2013 Ford Escape. 2013 Ford Escape, folks. I'm at 19 and a half, 2015, now 21. Bid 21 and a half, now 22, now 22 and a half, now 23. Bid 23, 23 and a half, now 24, 24 and a half, now 25. 25 and a half, now 26. Bid 2600, 2600, 26 and a half, now 27. 27 and a half. Bid 27 and a half. 2750, now 28. 2800, now 28 and a half. Bid 28 and a half, now 29. 29 and a half. Bid 29 and a half, now 3000. Bid 3000, now 3050. Bid 3050, now 31. 3100, now 31 and a half. Bid 31 and a half, 3150. Now 32. 3200, now 32 and a half. Bid 32 and a half, 3250. Sold 3200. Sold 3200. Lot number 120 is going to be the 2012 GMC Acadia, folks. 2012 GMC Acadia, folks. Here we go. 975, now 1000. Bid 1000. 975, now 1000. Bid 1000. 975, now 1000. 1050. $1,000 bid, now 1050. Bid 1050, now 1100. I need 1100. 1100, now 11 and a half, now 1200. Bid 1200, now 12 and a half, now 13. I need 13. 12 and a half, now 13, now 13 and a half. Bid 1350. 1350. Now 14. I need 14. 1400, now 14 and a half, now 15. Bid 15. 14 and a half, now 15. Now 15 and a half. 15 and a half, now 16. Bid 16. 1550, now 16. Sold 1550. Sold 1,550. Lot number 121. This one's marked bio, folks. Bio on this one. It is a 2007 Ford Focus, and it is marked bio, folks. Here we go. 200, now 2 and a quarter. 200 bid, now 2 and a quarter. Bid 2 and a quarter. 225, 225, 2 and a quarter. Bid 2 and a half, now 275. I'm at 2 and a half, now 275. Sold 2 and a half. Sold 2 and a half. Lot number 122 is going to be the 2012 Toyota Corolla. This one here is your 2012 Toyota Corolla, folks. 1900, now 19 and a half. I'm at 19, now 19 and a half. Bid 19 and a half, 1950, 2000, now 2050. Bid 2050, 2050, now 21. I'm at 2050, now 21. Bid 2100, 2100, now 21 and a half, now 22. Bid 22, 21 and a half, now 22. 22 and a half, now 23. Bid 23, 2300, now 23 and a half. 23 and a half, now 24. Bid 24, 2400, 2400, 24 and a half, now 25. Bid 2500, I'm at 2500, 25 and a half, now 26. Bid 2600, 2600. Sold 25 and a half, sold 25 and a half. Lot number 123 is the 2007 Dodge Nitro, folks. 2007 Dodge Nitro, folks. Here we go. 475, now 500, now 500, 500 bid, now 5 and a quarter, now 5 and a half. I'm 5 and a quarter, now 5 and a half, now 575. Bid 575, now 600. Bid 600, now 6 and a quarter. 600 bid, now 6 and a quarter, now 6 and a half. I'm 6 and a half, now 675. Bid 675, now 700. Bid 700. 675, now 700. Bid 700, now 7 and a quarter. 700 bid, now 7 and a quarter. 7 and a quarter, 725. 7 and a quarter, now 7 and a half, now 775. Bid 775, 775, 775. Sold 7 and a half, sold 7 and a half. Lot number 124 is going to be the 2010 Jeep Wrangler. 2010 Jeep Wrangler, folks. Here we go. I'm at 15 and a half, now 16. Bid 16. 1600, now 16 and a half. Bid 1650, now 17. I need 17. 16 and a half, now 17. Bid 17 and a half, now 18. I'm 1800, now 18 and a half. Bid 1850. 1850, now 19. I need 19. 1900, now 19 and a half. Bid 19 and a half, now 2000. Bid 2000. 19 and a half, now 2000. Bid 2000, now 2050. Bid 2050, now 21. I need 21. 2050, now 21. Bid 2100. Sold 2050, sold 2050. All right, folks, we're down to the last 10 vehicles. If you haven't bought yourself a car, now's your chance. Ya nada más le faltan 10 vehículos por vender, so si no ha comprado uno, ahora es su oportunidad. Lot number 125 is going to be the 2006 Dodge Dakota. This one here is your 2006 Dodge Dakota, folks. 775, 800, now 8 and a quarter, now 8 and a half. I'm 8 and a half, now 875, now 900, now 9 and a quarter, 9 and a quarter, now 9 and a half, now 975, 975, now 1,000, 1,050, 1,100, 11 and a half, now 1,200. Bid 1,200, 11 and a half, now 1,200. Bid 1,200, now 12 and a half. I need 12 and a half, 1,200, now 12 and a half. Bid 12 and a half, need 250, now 13. I need 13, 12 and a half, now 13. Bid 13, 12 and a half, now 13. Sold 12 and a half, sold 12 and a half. Lot number 126 is the 2018 Subaru Forester, folks. 2018 Subaru Forester, folks. Here we go. 200, now 2 and a quarter. 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half, now 275. Bid 275, 275, 300, now 3 and a quarter. Bid 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, now 375. 375, 375. 400, now 4 and a quarter. 400 bid, now 4 and a quarter. Bid 4 and a quarter. 425, 4 and a half, now 475. I'm 4 and a half, 475, now 500, now 5 and a quarter. 500 bid, now 5 and a quarter. 5 and a half, now 575. 600, now 6 and a quarter. 600 bid, now 6 and a quarter. 6 and a half, now 675. 700, now 7 and a quarter. Bid 7 and a quarter. 7 and a half, now 775. Bid 775, 800, now 8 and a quarter. 800 bid, now 8 and a quarter. Excuse me, 8 and a quarter. Sold $800. Sold $800. Lot number 127 is a rebuild salvage, folks. Rebuild salvage 2002 Jeep Liberty. 2002 Jeep Liberty, folks. Here we go. 500, now 5 and a quarter. 500 bid, now 5 and a quarter. Bid 5 and a quarter. 525, now 5 and a half. I'm 5 and a half, now 575. Bid 575. 575, now 600. Bid 600. 575, now 600, now 6 and a quarter. 600 bid, now 6 and a quarter. 6 and a quarter. Sold $600. Sold $600. Lot number 128 is the 2007 Dodge Durango, folks. 2007 Dodge Durango. 2.5, 275, 300, now 3 and a quarter. 3.5, now 375, 400, 4 and a quarter, 4.5, now 475. 500, now 5 and a quarter. 5.5, now 575. 600, now 6 and a quarter, 6 and a half. Bid 6.5, now 675. 700, bid 700. $700. $700. 7 and a quarter. 7 and a quarter, now 7 and a half. I need 7 and a half. 7 and a quarter, now 7 and a half. Bid 7 and a half, now 775. 7 and a half, now 775. Bid 775. Sold 7 and a half. Sold 7 and a half. Lot number 129 is going to be the 2003 Pontiac Other. 2003 Pontiac Other, folks. 2 and a quarter, now 2 and a half. I'm 2 and a quarter, now 2 and a half, now 275. Bid 275, 275. 275. Sold 2 and a half. Sold 2 and a half. Lot number 130 is a rebuild salvage flood damage, folks. 2002 Toyota 4Runner. It is a rebuild salvage flood damage, folks. Here we go. 775, now 800. Bid 800, $800. 775, now 800. Bid 800. Sold 775. Sold 775. Lot number 131 is going to be the 2008 Nissan Armada. 2008 Nissan Armada, folks. Here we go. 6.5, now 675. I'm at 6.5, now 675. Bid 675, 675, 675. Sold 6.5. Sold 6.5. Lot number 132 is going to be the 2003 Dodge Caravan, folks. Help, help, help. It is a 2003 Dodge Caravan, folks. 2 and a quarter, now 2 and a half. 2 and a quarter, now 2 and a half. Bid 2 and a half. 2 and a quarter, now 2 and a half. Now 275. Bid 275, 275. Now 300. Bid 300, now 3 and a quarter. I'm 3 and a quarter. Bid 3 and a quarter. Now 3 and a half. I need 3 and a half. 3 and a quarter, now 3 and a half. 350, now 375. I'm 3 and a half, now 375. Now 400. Bid 400, now 4 and a quarter. 400 bid, now 4 and a quarter. 425, now 4 and a half. I'm 4 and a quarter, now 4 and a half. Now 475. 475, now 500. Bid 500, now 5 and a quarter. 5 and a quarter, now 5 and a half. Bid 5 and a half. 5 and a quarter, now 5 and a half. Now 575. 5 and a half, now 575. Now 600. Bid 600. Sold 575. Sold 575. Lot number 133 is the 2010 Buick Enclave. 2010 Buick Enclave, folks. I'm at 1,000, 1,050, now 1,100. 1,100, now 11 and a half, now 1,200, now 12 and a half. 1,300, now 13 and a half. 14, now 14 and a half. 1,500, now 15 and a half, now 16. 16 and a half. 17, now 17 and a half, now 18. 18 and a half. 18 and a half. now 19, now 19 and a half. Bid 19 and a half, 19 and a half, now 2,000. Bid 2,000, 19 and a half, now 2,000. Bid 2,000, now 2,050. Bid 2,050, 2,050. Sold 2,000, sold 2,000. This is our last vehicle for today. I want to thank everyone for joining today's online auction at joeredautos.com. Don't forget, bring a valid ID when coming to make your payment. It is required. I hope that everyone has a great afternoon. Damas y caballeros, este es nuestro último vehículo de hoy. Les quiero dar las gracias por unirse hoy a la subasta a través de joeredautos.com. No se les olvide traer su identificación válida cuando venga a hacer su pago porque así es requerida. Espero que todos tengan una gran noche. On this 2010 Ford Focus, our last vehicle for today, folks, lot number 134. 300, now 3 and a quarter. 3 and a bit, now 3 and a quarter. 325. Sold $300. Sold $300.